What is up, my people? This is EyesRestrict12, and today I want to talk to you about something that the whole Mortal Kombat community has been talking about in the past couple weeks. Now, I've been reading a lot of comments regarding the graphics in the upcoming Mortal Kombat 1. Anything from the graphics don't look as good as the previous games to, the graphics or the character designs are a little bit odd, especially Johnny Cage. I've been reading a lot about him. People don't like this new design. Also, people even saying that the game is too colorful for Mortal Kombat, and that right there got me thinking. It got me thinking, being someone who's been playing Mortal Kombat since Mortal Kombat 1 came out in arcades, about that comment right there kind of woke something in me. The game is too colorful. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, I feel like a lot of the commentary that people are saying about Mortal Kombat comes from a single source. And if you've been playing Mortal Kombat for a while, I want you to listen to me and tell me if you agree with me, because I feel like you are. I think I have a pretty good theory as to why we feel like this game is a little bit off, not only this one, but the last couple ones. Now, if you've been playing Mortal Kombat from the beginning, you know Mortal Kombat has never shied away from having a lot of color in its graphics. So for instance, if we look at the character select menu for Mortal Kombat 1, there's plenty of color there. You have Sub-Zero and Scorpion, the standouts, but every character has something going on in the background. You have Raiden with the lightning, you have Johnny Cage with the lights. Now, if you look at Mortal Kombat 2, you see even more color. It's a very colorful scheme. You have Reptile, you have Katana, you have Scorpion, you have all these guys that is just a beautiful palette of different colors. But even with all that color, those games always manage to give you an eerie feeling of that something is not right. So for instance, if we look at a lot of these stages, for instance, let's go ahead and look at the acid pit. It's pretty full of color there, but look how eerie that looks. That looks dangerous. That looks like a place you don't want to be in. Mortal Kombat used to be a very dark, game. Like everything about the game let you know that the world was in danger, and every single stage was a place you didn't want to be in. If you look at this one, for instance, again, you get that eerie feeling that something is not right. I mean, let's go back to Mortal Kombat 1. You look at Goro's lair. Look at that bones. The remains of people hanging up on the wall. The game just it spelled death everywhere. If you look at Mortal Kombat 2, where they're fighting in front of Shao Kahn, look at that sky, look at Outworld, look how eerie that is, and you even see Kano chained up in the background. Like every single Mortal Kombat game prior to Mortal Kombat 5 was very eerie in its nature, and the music was daunting. Everything, although it had color, but everything had color the same way that a snake or a poisonous frog has color. It's like, it's beautiful to look at, but it spells danger at every turn. Now, we look at some of the stages for the new game, and we look at this one, and I believe that is Johnny Cage's apartment, and look how beautiful that is. I mean, the funniest thing is the flamingo floaty in the corner, but also if you deal enough damage and spill enough blood, you will see a little Roomba that comes out and starts mopping the floor. It's pretty hilarious. If you look at this one, for instance, this is honestly, that looks like a bar. If you go to the Caribbean or something on vacation, that looks like your typical bar where you're gonna spend a Friday night. You got the TV, you got the lights, you have the tables, people expectating in the background. Like, this is a place I want to be in. The apartment, that is a place I want to live in. This right here, this is the I believe that might be the Wushu Academy, and you see Raiden about to fight who I believe is Kung Lao, and look at that beautiful garden. Wouldn't you want to take your girlfriend or your boyfriend on a walk through a garden like that? I know I would. So again, I think it's the color, the game being, the bright colors, the themes of Mortal Kombat, that was never the issue. Is really the storytelling in every asset, in every background. So for instance, a game like Elden Ring, that game is phenomenal at storytelling, because it tells you stories through the background. For instance, if you see two groups of enemies hanging together, that means something. And once you start finding pieces of lore, it makes sense why those two enemies are, hanging out together. For instance, there's a part where if you play Elden Ring, you know what I'm talking about. There is a part where you go into Caelid, and Caelid is this rot wasteland, and you see these soldiers fighting these rot monsters, and you're like, wait a minute, what? Usually like every single NPC in this game is trying to kill me, but these guys are killing each other. And at first you don't understand why, but then the deeper you go into the game, you realize that there was a fight between two demigods, and one of them, Radon, had loyal soldiers who protect, you know, his fortress. And after the fight, Melania, I'm sorry, that's our Melania decimated the land, and that's why these guys are the few survivors of that giant, you know, cataclysmic battle, and they're trying to keep all the rot creatures at bay from getting into the castle. So again, it's a lot of storytelling through the background, through what you see, you know, in the assets, in the music, in the choice of clothes, things like that. In this game, the new Mortal Kombat game, honestly, it feels like a Street Fighter game a lot of the time. You know, based at least on what we've seen so far, the backgrounds, the atmosphere of the game. Honestly, if you put those backgrounds in Street Fighter, they wouldn't seem out of place. And Mortal Kombat, what set it apart was that Mortal Kombat as a kid was genuinely scary. I mean, let's go ahead and take a look at the intro for Mortal Kombat 2, and you tell me what you think, and hopefully this proves my point and how eerie and dark these games used to be. All right, let's go ahead and check it out. All right, so I mean, look at that. You have Shang Tsung and Goro covered with darkness and shadows, and it's telling you, you know, what happened in the previous game. Here, this is a recap of, again, the previous game. This is where Liu Kang defeats Shang Tsung. And then this is Shang Tsung begging for mercy to Shao Kahn. I mean, every single one of these shots, look how eerie, scary, and dreadful they are. And then right here they show you the big bad of the game. I mean, look at that guy. Everything about that guy says, I am going to hurt you. And then the combat continues, and look at all those backgrounds, look at all those stages. I will not want to be anywhere near any of those places. Not for a walk, not, you know, on my way to school. Nope, I will avoid any of those places like the plague. And the game was just dark, you know, the game just had an eerie feeling. And then here, when it reveals the title, look at that. It's just darkness, lightning, thunder, you name it. I mean, the games were genuinely eerie. And the color wasn't the issue. I mean, look at this stage right here. Sunny outside, beautiful, but, you know, you have a bunch of men. They all look, you know, kind of in a creepy way. They all look similar. And then you have guards with spears. And then at the very top in the back, you have an old man with purple robes watching you fight. And although it's a beautiful sunny day that I would love to go to the beach, in a day like this, there's something eerie about it. You know, that it's uncomfortable. It's like you don't see any of your friends. You don't see anybody who just seems like a regular spectator. No, you feel like you're in an island with a cult, and they're forcing you to fight, and they're kind of hoping that you die. All right, so again, I feel like a lot of the criticism about Mortal Kombat, the graphics and the way it looks, is not so much the technical work of the programmers, the graphic designers. It's the direction, the theme, the storytelling that the assets of the game are going with. And I feel that is what happens to a lot of games once they start becoming a little bit more mainstream. You know, Mortal Kombat with the movies coming out and all that, they're trying to appeal to a larger audience. And sometimes the price to pay is that the game will kind of lose a little bit of what made it special in exchange for pleasing a larger audience. Alright guys, so please let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Do you agree with my assessment, or am I just kind of looking a little too hard into it? But if you think, you know, that's the case, let me know in the comment section. Alright guys, well, thank you for watching my videos, guys. If you like my content, please go ahead and subscribe, you know, drop a like. I'll be trying to get you guys as much Mortal Kombat content as possible that I feel that the community would want to, you know, listen to. Or if I know any good news or anything like that, guys, you know, I will always do my best to try to keep you guys informed and, you know, talk, you know, spark conversation of things that I feel need to be talked about. All right, guys, so I'll be catching you in the next one.